now please welcome the star from the Harry Potter universe, from the film series, Mr. Josh Herdman. Let's start from the, well, from the very beginning. You are one of only 14 actors who took part in all Harry Potter movies.
Nearly all, because I don't think Goyle was in Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe like a glimpse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, starting from the movie number 1. So, how did you get into the Harry Potter world?
I just auditioned. I had an agent, and my agent got me the audition for when I was about 13. And I originally auditioned for Dudley Dursley. I had about 4 auditions and screen tests for Dudley. We got down to the last 2 kids for that, and then the producers were like, "No, neither of us were right for it," and then they just said, "No, sorry, recast." And then I didn't hear anything for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe, and then they called me back and said, "Can we see you for Goyle?" Tom Felton and Jamie Waylett, they had already been cast as Crabbe and Malfoy. So they basically, I went to Laisvės Studios, they stood me next to them. And then I remember the producers, and the director, they looked, yeah, that's the 3. And they told me there and then I got the part.
Why do you think you have been picked? What kind of characteristics, if I may say, of the Goyle you portrayed?
The audition for Dudley, we had to get really angry and really aggressive when it was the scene where Dudley was upset because he didn't get enough presents.
Yeah.
That was the scene, that was the audition scene. So I really was like, no, got really angry. So they'd seen that I could be very aggressive. And I was quite big as well. I was bigger than all the others, and I think, I guess I just looked right for the part. And we looked good together. Tom and Jamie and me. So, because I think Crabbe was meant to be more sort of like round and short, and Goyle was meant to be taller and.
Okay, so what was your first scene that you've been actually shot outside the education?
I think it was when we first walked into the Great Hall, to the Sorting Hat.
How do you like it?
Oh, it's good. It was very hot. It was really, really hot, I remember. Because we had shirts, ties, jumpers, gowns, and they had these fires, like they're called flambeaux. You'll see them in the films, along the side of the Great Hall. And they would have to be on, and all the lights, it was so hot. But yeah, no, it was cool. It was cool.
How it was working out for you among the other 2 of your companions, Draco and Crabbe? How did you find the rapport among 3 of you?
Well, we all had similar interests. We was all into rap music and stuff like that. I think it was probably mainly rap music which tied us together. We all liked similar stuff. And Tom Felton, he was into Limp Bizkit and a bit of rock, which I'd never listened to, ever. I'd only ever really listened to rap music. So he got me listening to a bit of rock and got me into Limp Bizkit. It probably, music probably kept us, sort of friends.
What about these 2 groups, right? The bad guys, you, and good guys, the Harry Potter and his team.
We all got on very well. It was fine. So there was no. We kind of, maybe at the start we did keep to our own little groups, but we still spoke to each other. We still got on pretty well.
What about Dumbledore?
What about him?
How was your relationship with the headmaster?
I remember Richard Harris. He didn't care. He didn't care about anything. He just did whatever he wanted. And I remember he came off set of the Great Hall once, and there was a big no smoking. He couldn't smoke inside the studio. A big no smoking sign, and he came off, lit a fag straight away, sitting there smoking underneath a no smoking sign.
Well, that
didn't care.
Bold statement.
Yeah, he's Richard Harris,
How does it feel, when you understand that you are living your different kind of life, for quite a long time, of being from 13 years old boy to the 23 years old man.
It was for me. It was kind of a little bit like a double life because I still went to school because I had a smaller part. I still went to school, so my filming schedule would be like I'd be filming for 2 weeks, then I'd be off for a month, then I'd be filming for a month, and then off for a week. A few days here, a few days there. Very random. So I still got to go to school and hang out with my friends and stuff. But you know, for the bigger parts, you know, the main three, they were at the studios and location pretty much the whole time.
How have you felt that your character developed during the Goyle character during these 10 years? What was your favorite moments, and maybe some moments that you were not very happy about?
No, there's a few. Obviously, I like the Polyjuice potion scene. That was probably Goyle's biggest sequence. And you know, when he died as well in the Deathly Hallows Part 2, that was good fun.
Really?
There were several ones. You know, the ferret. I had to get the ferret out of Crab's trousers and things like that.
What was your weirdest encounter with the fans?
Well, the first one that I think of was I was at Glastonbury Festival, and I went there really young. I was about 16. I was just 16.
Okay.
And I was walking, we was camping, and I was walking through the field, the camping field, and then this couple called me over, and they said, over to their tent. I was like, okay, you're right. And the girl recognised me from Harry Potter, and she was like, oh yeah, you're Goyle from Harry Potter. I was like, yeah. And then the boyfriend, I think it was her boyfriend, asked me to kiss her and take a picture. And I was, like, okay. I didn't have a girlfriend or anything. I just found it a bit weird.
Okay, so I think I have some questions from our YouTube viewers. Well, if you could reinvent yourself, which college would you choose from Hogwarts? Or you would be happy to stay in Slytherin?
What, me actually as a person?
Yes.
I'd probably be in Gryffindor, I think.
Ah,
yeah.
They're the good guys.
Maybe. Gryffindor or Slytherin.
Who is in your opinion, is more evil, Voldemort or Dolores Umbridge?
Voldemort.
For sure.
Obviously.
Okay. What about your death scene? You said you liked your death scene.
I liked it because they put me on a harness, and I was, strapped to a harness and a wire, and the sort of, there was a tower of furniture in the room of requirement, and it was about 25, 30 feet up, and I had to pull the chair away and fall backwards. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah. I've had a few death scenes actually. I mean, in other stuff since then. I quite like dying.
What was your best friend, let's say, from the cast?
I wouldn't say I had a best.
Not best, but the person that you hanged out and so on.
I really got on with Tom, and in the earlier days. I'm not saying that we didn't get on towards the end. We still got on, but I felt quite close to him earlier on, and Jamie Waylett not so much, who played Crab.
Yeah.
Because we really didn't get on in the earlier films, but towards the end, before he got fired, we both grew up and matured a bit, and I'd say probably Jamie. Yeah.
Why haven't you got on with Crab? It's some lack of chemistry.
Yeah. We just clashed.
Okay.
He was not an actor. He was picked from school. He was scouted, because he looked so good. He had such a good face. And he was brought up in quite a rough part of London. I was the youngest of 4, so I had 3 older brothers. So I always thought I was, a bit of a I don't know how to say it. In London, we'd say I thought I was a bit of a boy,
right.
A bit of a chap. So did he. So he used to tease me, and because I was older, he was only about 10 or 11, and I was 13.
Okay.
I was like, this little
Really?
This little kid's teasing me, and I just thought, nah. So we didn't get on, so we'd be back and forth.
But it's...
And I'd lose my temper with him.
Yeah.
We didn't have fights or anything, but nearly did.
What was the most awkward scene you had to film?
Awkward.
Or cringy?
Cringe. Okay, now that's the buzzwords.
I guess probably the ferret scene, actually, because I had to put my hand down Jamie's trousers.
That's cringy, right?
That wasn't good.
Hi, so my question is, which one of the deadly hallows would you choose? Cloak, stone, or wand?
Invisibility cloak.
Okay.
Every time, yeah.
Why? Why you want to be invisible?
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Are you up to some mischief, then? Going into the stores and taking things? Or,
maybe.
or going into see Harry Potter movies without buying a ticket, right?
It's just quite an interesting concept, isn't it?
Do you remember any fun behind the scenes moments or bloopers?
As soon as one person starts laughing, it's contagious, and then another person starts laughing, and then you just got the giggles and you can't stop, and it's, that's probably some of my fondest memories of having the giggles whilst being on set, because it's just hilarious, and you know you shouldn't be laughing, but you can't stop laughing, and you're aware of how it's a bit naughty as well, because you're aware of how much is costing them per minute.
Yeah.
Per minute it would be something insane.
Which part of the Harry Potter series was your favorite one and why?
I like the third one, Prisoner of Azkaban, because I liked how it changed. Everything changed, and I thought Chris Columbus's movies were good, but they just, I don't know, not Americanized, but they just. What I remember from the first two films is everything seemed to be perfect. So the costume, our ties had to be done up to the top, and everything was perfect. Not a hair was out of place. And then in the third movie, it kind of all changed. The costume changed a bit, and they've got more relaxed. And it just seemed a bit more realistic. I found the third film was visually, for me, it was more realistic. So we could undo our ties and sometimes have a jumper off, and it was never exactly perfect. And it was, everyone says it was darker, and it started getting darker, and I like that. It was my favourite book as well, so.
What was your favorite director to work with?
Chris Columbus.
All right.
Yeah, he was just such a nice guy. But David Yates, he was really, really nice as well. Very complimentary director. So Chris Columbus and David Yates, they're just just genuinely nice people.
Would there be a person from whom I could expect a big surprise if I meet them, in terms of personality or how they behave?
I was surprised at how down to earth Rupert Grint was. He was just really down to earth, really nice bloke. I worked with him again on a film we did called Thunderpants. It was a silly film, but it's quite funny. That always surprised me, how he was just such a normal guy. He was, very nice guy.
Down back the hall.
Did you have any special needs on set? Any special type of coffee or anything?
No, I didn't. I'm not that kind of person. Tom Felton, however.
You have some beef with Tom Felton, right?
No. It's all light-hearted. He was a very fussy eater. He didn't like to eat much of the catering, so he would get McDonald's brought to him every day at lunchtime.
Well, now that's a sign of a true star when somebody brings you McDonald's, right?
His driver would go and get his McDonald's every day.
There was a scene where Ron and Harry is pretending to be Crabble and Goyle, and as I assume you did the role of yourself pretending to be them. And as we know that Sarah Bohan Carton did a magnificent job of pretending to be Hermione, pretending to be Sarah Bohan Carton. So could you please share your experience in you pretending to be someone else pretending to be you?
Yes, it was very tricky, but we had a lot of rehearsals, a lot of practice. And the producers, it wasn't like an audition because we had already obviously had the part, but the producers wanted us to do the scene in front of them, pre-production, just so they were confident that we could do it, you know. So basically, they made us watch the first film in a small, like a Warner Brothers cinema. I think I watched it in the space of 2 weeks. We probably had to watch it about 10 times. That's just like homework almost, like research. Just study Dan and Rupert, and you know, their mannerisms and the little things they did. And it was quite hard. We had a lot of practice, and they were happy with it in the end.
Okay. So finally, to wrap up, what would be your sentiment? What would you say to all the Harry Potter fans and super fans, which stuck with you for a lot of time, for 10 years, for 7 movies? What would be your final sentiment?
I could just say thank you. You know, it's been really. I feel really lucky because even though I had a small part, I just feel lucky that I can come here and do things like this. I feel very fortunate to be able to do that. Even, you know, being a small part of the whole Harry Potter thing, I feel it feels special, and it feels, you know, all I can say is thank you. You know, it's really cool.
Okay. So thank you very much also for coming to Lithuania and
Thank
speaking
you.
to them, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Herdman.